Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be doing another Agony Emma. Now this video has literally just been like on a whim because it's Sunday here in the UK and I was just out in Aldi's and I just had an Instagram message from a girl, and I was reading it while I was waiting in line because there was quite a big queue for Aldi's, and I was like, you know what, I want to film this and get it up today. It's been a week since I've posted a video, so it's about time I get another one up. So yeah, this video is done on a bit of a whim, but this girl's problem is something that most girls go through, especially when you're starting in relationships, and I want to give my personal experiences, just give a bit of advice. Before we get into the video, I do want to state that I am not in any way, shape or form a therapist or a psychologist or anything like that. When I give advice, it's purely off my own experience, but that is all it is. It's advice. It's not what I say goes, it's what I've been through and how I felt and how it bettered me. It doesn't mean... Are you? Hi! But look what I'm doing right now.
Making a YouTube channel.
Yes, so say hello.
Hello.
I'll put you in this video. Is that you, Barry?
Yeah.
Okay, can I call you back after I've finished? What I'm saying is just advice, and one thing I always tell people in any situation, when you go to friends or family or anyone, always take advice with a pinch of salt. Don't take it for God's honest truth, because a lot of people's advice that they give you is tender borderline biasness, in the means as in, like, you know, I watched a great video and I'm going to link it below. Her advice is just exceptional, like really good, and she talks about when you're having problems in your relationship, be careful who you run to, and you know what I'm saying is, when you get advice from people, it can be biased. Some people will give you advice with what they actually want you to do instead of the overall situation. I always tell everyone, including Shan massively, is that do what makes you happy, 100% within reason, as long as what you're doing is not harming anyone or anything, or causing any like badness to anyone. Just do what makes you happy, and if it's going to hurt you in the long run, it's going to hurt you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, it's just like, it's the typical Sex in the City Mr. Big who broke Carrie's heart so many times, but then they ended up together in the end, and lovely Charlotte was the only one who believed in him. But all I'm saying is, you know, you could be someone that goes to someone for advice. You could be a young girl who goes to an older girl and go, oh, I want to do this in my career, and she's going to give you advice on what happens to her, but just because it happened to her doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you get advice from someone, always remember it's a little bit biased. They're not doing it in a malicious way. Well, some people can, but they're doing it in a way as in, like, they're telling you what happened to them, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Do you understand? Like, there's some relationships where guys have cheated and, you know, a girl's never gone back, but there's some relationships where guys cheated and they've got together and it's been the best relationship ever. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just saying that everyone is different, and every single advice you're getting is got a little bit of biasness, because that person's just telling you what they think, but it's not, ultimately it's not what they think, it's what makes you happy that matters. Do you know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, whatever I say in this video doesn't mean that it's the truth or it's right. It's just my opinion and my experiences, and you just take it with a pinch of salt. I know what this girl's going through. We all know what this girl's going through. So let's get started on the video. Oh, and before we get started, go subscribe and go follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. So let's get started on the video. So I've been in a relationship with the love of my life for almost a year, up until 2 days ago. We have never had it easy. The relationship was always up and down, but it didn't mean we loved each other any less. We are known as the couple that are on and off like a light switch. I would say we have been back and forth over 50 times in the time we were together. Now I know I'm not the easiest girl in the world to be in a relationship with, but he always leaves me. We break up and stay away from each other for a week until I go back because I can't handle the pain. So I have to apologise and nag him to take me back, even though I haven't ultimately done anything wrong in the first place. He very rarely fights for me. He tells me that I'm punching. He tries to really drum it into me that no one else is going to put up with me. He's called me fat and ugly so many times. I basically just feel like I've ended up settling for his bullshit. I can't seem to find a way of living without this boy. He's honestly my world. It literally feels like when he's not around, Blackpool lights are not lit up. And when he is around, the lights all come on. I love that saying. I feel amazing. I get something that sets off inside me and I feel so content and just on cloud nine, really. It really hurts having to admit this because I know he really doesn't feel that same way. He does always take me back, which is why I think I'm so confused. The last time we split up, I was speaking to someone else and he realised he wanted me and cried to me and told me he wanted to make it work. We were so good for 4 days and then he left me again. All I'd done was smoke a bit of his weed and I told him I'd buy him more, but he still left me over it. I feel like he doesn't value me. I feel so confused and don't know what to do with myself. Every morning I wake up, I feel a bit heartbroken and confused, and I think the turmoil over the last few months is really kicking in now. I just want a happily ever after, but I don't think I'm going to get it with him. Do you have any ideas on what I can do? Should I fight to get him back one more time? What do you think of it? Thank you for taking the time out of your day to read this. Thank you. I know when I say I smoked his weed, it literally sounds like I'm taking the piss because it's that pathetic. But I'm bothered because he's leaving me and I love him. Okay, so that was a bit of a lengthy email. So, I'm going to have a bit of a nose. Okay, so it says you're 20, so you're pretty young. I know exactly what you are feeling like. When you're in a relationship, especially at such a young age, when you're in a relationship, you feel so grown up. You feel like you are finally an adult. You feel so accomplished, and you meet someone and you know, they give you that buzz that you get. You know, it's the warm fuzzy feeling, it's the contentment, it's really, really nice. And when you're a young age, relationships are so hard to understand. Relationships are so much more than just the profile picture on Facebook, the kisses, you know, the days out, the times in bed, the Netflix and chills. It is so much more than that. And when I was young, I genuinely didn't realise how much effort and how much responsibility is given to both parties in a relationship. For relationships to work, you both have to understand what that other person is giving to you and vice versa, what you need to give to them. It sounds like to me that this lad he sounds like someone who knows he has you there. This happened to me in a past relationship. When I was 15, I haven't really spoke about it, but I think I should do a story time. But when I was 15, I got with someone who was significantly older than me. I think he was about 23, 24. And I was with him for 4 years. And he was mentally abusive, physically abusive, controlling, a cheater, everything. Like literally, he was so bad to me. And I used to do exactly what you're doing here. I used to break up with him, not chat to him for a few days, but then he'd come running after me. From the sounds of the message, it sounds like it's you who's going after him. And what you've done is, because you keep getting on and off, on and off, on and off, you've programmed this scenario, you've programmed this like pattern in his head. So every single time you guys are off, he knows you're gonna come back. Do you understand? So you need to sit down within yourself. Deep down, you know this relationship isn't working. Hence why the way you've wrote it, the way you're talking to me, I can tell you know you deserve better, but you're just worried about the overall loss at the end. Loss is so horrible. Like honestly, I'm one of those people that when a series ends and you know it's the last TV show, it's the last time you watch it, like it's the last episode, it breaks my heart and I cry because I'm like, oh my god, that's it, that's the end of an era. Anything that ends is sad, especially relationships. So when you come to an end of a relationship and you just know, oh my god, this isn't working, your heart is telling you get out, but your head is reminiscing on all the times you had, reminiscing of knowing how hard it's going to be in the following weeks, because breakups are hard. It is so hard, regardless of whether you've been cheated on, you're the one who's cheated on someone, whether it's been just a platonic breakup and you've both just said actually we don't want to be together. Breakups are so hard, and I think that's one of the big things why a lot of people are very stagnant when it comes to the end of a relationship and actually completely cutting ties, because they know the next few weeks, possibly months, is going to be quite heart-wrenching. And I think that's what it is of you. You break up with him and you're obviously okay to go days without him. I am a massive, this is one thing I've learned massively in growing up. Sometimes it's nice to have a break from each other, but to completely cut each other off and not talk to each other for a few days is unhealthy. It is so unhealthy, because to cut someone dead off in your life like that, and then you know they're going to be back in a few days, you're just taking advantage of it. If I was in a relationship and we had a bit of an argument, whatever it be, I don't want them to just walk out and not talk. I used to do that back in the days, like on a level, you know, not talk to them for a few days. And it's just like, why are you doing that for? You need to work on a relationship. You need to work on it. If you two are having a bit of a Barney, it's safe to say, I'll speak to you later, but you make sure you speak to them later. You make sure you're not blocking them. You make sure you're not like going, oh, I'm not going to call them. You know, and if they reach out to you or vice versa, you reach out to them, you make sure you speak to later. We all need time where we just need to calm down and we're just like, all right, give me a bit of space. That's not wrong. But to completely break up with someone and have this pattern of having a few days apart and then getting back together, it's not healthy. It's about working in a relationship. Like I said, oh God, the lighting's gone down a bit there. But with a relationship, it is about, you know, commitment, and it is about trying really hard. You know, some of the, you know, oldest relationships you can never, you know, think of or speak to and say, how did you last so long? And it was like, because we spoke. People worked on stuff, whereas now we don't. We take so much things for granted, it's unreal. So what I feel like you've done in this predicament is you've placed a pattern in his head where he knows that he's going to get you back after a few days, and this is not a healthy relationship. It's not a relationship where you're more off than on, or you're consistently on and off, on and off, on and off. It's showing that you can't be compatible for a long amount of time or a certain amount of time. You know, relationships is so, honestly, it's so much more than just the kiss, the Netflix and chill. It's about growing. It's about supporting each other. It's about, you know, being able to spend time apart. You know, I understand where you're coming from, because I was the same, like I said. But I never used to contact him. It was always him who ran after me. But you know what? I'm not putting doubts in your head now, or I don't want to put any ideas in your head or anything like that. The reason why he used to stop talking to me for a few days is because it was his opportunity to go and cheat on me for a few days, and then he'd come back. Then we'd have like 5-6 days of a great relationship. Then we'd break up for 3-4 days. I swear to God, it was that toxic. You're saying, like, okay, it says here you can't handle the pain. The pain is disgusting. It is horrible. I know. I've been that girl where I've, not even just in relationships, in friendships, I've been that girl where I've gone a few days without talking to them, and then I've been strong, and then I've gone into bed and I've just snapped and I've gone weak and I've messaged them. Like, it is such a horrible pain, but it gets better. It honestly gets better. Like, it really, time is such a massive healer. Like, it's such an old school saying, but it really genuinely is a healer. And I do know people who, you know, have, you know, left someone and it's been years and they still say she's got my heart, but they don't hurt as much as they did when they broke up. Do you know what I'm saying? So you may, you know, think of him in a year's time, couple of years time, and think, oh, I miss him, oh, I miss what we had. But it won't be that excruciating pain that will happen at the beginning of when you know, first break up. You need to focus on you and just get something on your mind to just like focus on, whether that be work, whether that be a hobby, whether that be family, whether that be whatever. You just need to, honestly, when I completely snap out of a relationship, I focus on something. And I've said it in previous videos, that guy I was with when I was 15 to 19, when I broke up with him, I remember I was sitting in the car with my best mate Faye. She's probably watching this now. I love you, Faye, from Kings Norton, Heathside Drive. You know, I was in her car and I was in tears. I was in absolute tears. And I said, you know what, I need to leave him. I need to leave him. And I did. I did leave him. And it's just, you'll have that crunch point, but you want to make sure it doesn't get to a point where you cheat or he cheats or something really bad happens. So if there's anything salvaging on your actual mental well-being and your just overall health, you need to just cut it. Or if you genuinely want this to work, if you genuinely do, you need to cut it. And if he comes after you, you be grown up, and instead of just going straight back into the relationship, this top is doing me head in, and instead of just getting straight back into the relationship, what you need to do is you need to go, okay, if we want this to work, we really need to focus on where our downfalls are and what will make it better. One thing that is agitating me is the fact that you said he's called you fat and ugly. Again, it's manipulation, it's control. He wants you there when he, you know, he knows how he's like knocked your confidence down, and in a few days after the breakup you're going to think of all that stuff he says and you're going to go running back to him. At the end of the day, if he says that, or if I was you, I'd be like, so why are you with me then, you weirdo? Like, can't you do better? Like, really? You're with a fat ugly girl? Go on then, go away. You know, it's just a form of control. No one deserves to be treated like that. So if he is saying that to you, it shows that his respect for you is zilch, and you deserve so much more than that. No man, no man, no matter how mad you are with someone, you don't go for someone's personal appearance in a like a bad way. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to have banter, like me with my 5 heads, like, you know, I laugh at stuff like that. I know exactly what you're talking about that buzzing feeling that when you get back with him, it's like, oh, we're back together now, we're Snapchatting, we're messaging, it's lovely, which is great. But then you're going to start getting that nigging feeling in you where you're like, but he's not appreciating me, he's not loving me. Nothing, I hate manipulation, I hate it so much. And you know, I know so many people who manipulate people in relationships, and I'm like, I can't lie next to someone in bed knowing they're there just because I lied to them about this. You know, that's the whole point in a relationship. It's about looking at that person going, you're here because you want to be here. It's so priceless. And you know, you are such a sweetheart, you're so young. Like, this is just something we all go through, and trust me, you can get through it. You just need to, like I said, cut it dead. Like, cut it dead. And then even after a few days, if he contacts you, you be strong. Focus on how great you are. Focus on those bad times. That's what I do. Like, if I'm trying to cut something, I just focus on how bad it makes me feel when it comes to that again, because that's all that's going to happen. It's just going to be that pattern that's just going to keep going round, on and off, 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 until he finds someone or you find someone, and then it's just going to be a bang and an explosion. It's just not right. You know, if you are meant to be, you will be. But it's about respecting each other and following those guidelines and knowing that, okay, I need to break us out of this cycle. If we're going to work, we need to work together as a team and sit down and respect each other and just be great. But at the moment, it doesn't sound like he's respecting you. No one should be calling you ugly and fat. So just focus on you and get the hell away from him. And in the future, if he does fix up, you know, and decide that you are the one, because some people just take advantage of what they've got. Trust me, some people know they've got the most amazing thing in front of them, but they just take advantage of it because they think she's not going anywhere. And that's what you've done to him. You've made him think she's not going to go anywhere, she'll always come back. If you want to make him work for it, you need to show him that you're not someone who's just going to wait around and be treated like anything. And show him your value, show him your worth, show him you know exactly what you're worth and what you have to offer. I nearly choked then. I know you say you love him, but love yourself more. That's what I'm going to end on this video. You are a beautiful girl. I've seen your picture, and you just need to focus on you and love yourself a hell of a lot times more than you love him. The second you start loving yourself and set that precedent on how you want to be treated, everyone else will just follow suit. Be happy, and I promise it will get better. If you don't get back together, you're going to find someone who's going to treat you like a princess, and you will look back on this relationship and laugh like I have. Okay, my battery is dying now, so I need to end this video. But thank you so much for writing in. I love you guys so much, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.